been a wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. Being the wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is
Amen.
Who said you had to pick up the drawers? Y'all want to go. This is my point here with that.
Yeah.
We always act like that's such a big thing. Like,
I know,
especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls are yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown-ass man,
Yeah, it is.
he has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Thanks.
What he wants in the future. And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. A lot of women get it confused. Not sure responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Candid Convos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. We got Vince on deck. Say what's up to the people, y'all.
I was muted. Everybody, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Shout out to y'all for joining us tonight. Do me a favor. Anybody watching right now, hit that like button for us. Hit that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button. Also, if you haven't, hit that subscribe for all my YouTube folks. Yeah, and hit that share as well. I said if you feel so inclined to share out the show. But yeah, we want to get this content out to as many of our people as possible. Like I said, great conversations, great topics. And like I said, just helping to move us forward. So yeah, hit that share button, hit that like, and hit that subscribe as well. All right. Let me see if we got anybody checking in early. Let's see. Shout out to my guy, J.U. Griffin in the building. He said, much love, respect, and blessings to everyone. What's going on with you, brother? Appreciate you joining us tonight. Always holding us down every Wednesday night. Shout out to you. Also to my guy, Donovan in the building. He said, happy, cooler than last week, Wednesday. Man, shout out to that. Shout out to that, man. Cats was sweating a little bit. So shout out to some normal weather coming back to the game. Shout out to that. We appreciate you holding us down tonight, as always, man. All right, let me do this real quick while I'm at it. Let's see. We got the link to join us on the panel. So here's the link to join us live on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming in through an Apple device, you got to use Safari. But yeah, join us on the panel if you ain't scared. You do have the ability to cut your camera off if you choose. We always encourage you to keep your camera on. In addition to here in the feed, we also have this link in all of the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Candid Convos page on YouTube or Facebook. or you can shoot us a message and we'll send it to you that way as well. But any way you need it, let us know. We will get you the link. So let me check in on my people real quick. So we got Vince, Chloe, we got JR. How y'all week going so far?
Great. Good evening.
Good evening.
I can't complain. Can't complain.
Okay, good stuff going on, JR. How you doing across the pond, man?
Nah, I'm all good, thanks. How are you over there?
Doing well. So we getting back to some somewhat normal weather up here, man. So
yeah, we
happy for that.
Yeah, we just had like the best weather we could ever have, man. Like 25 degrees, you know, and that's the greatest we can ever have. That's our hottest.
We said 25 degrees. Are you talking Celsius? What do you guys use to measure weather over there? Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I ain't got a clue. All I know it's degrees, boss. Come on now.
Oh.
No,
it's all good.
But all I know is 25 degrees Celsius. That's the one, Celsius. Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
I was about to say 25 degrees, man. That's snowing and cold up here, man. But I got it. We doing it a little different. It's all good. All right, cool. Appreciate that. See who else we got checking in. Let's see. Kenyatta said happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? We appreciate you joining us tonight as well. Holding us down every Wednesday night. All right. So we're going to go and get on into this. I'm going to drop this link down for a minute. Let's say everybody who's watching right now, do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that like button for us. All right. So let me go ahead and do this. We're going to get right on into the show tonight. So tonight's topic for tonight, women live in survival mode. Okay, we run that back. Topic for tonight, women live in survival mode. All right, so yeah, we got a couple videos tonight. Got a little curvature in there. We got a couple videos tonight, but let's get right on into this one.
Independent. And I asked you, Amanda, what made you hyper independent?
And I said I grew up this way. And honestly,
well, like, what about it? Like,
and because he said you're dealing with the wrong type of man, and I've never dealt with anyone that made me feel that way. Honestly, I was just raised that way. I was raised that way because my father always told me a man will try to control you as long as a man has money. He's going to use that money. He's going to dangle that money over your head, and he'll put that control over you. You have to have your own money. You have to have your own shit together because a man will only add to your life, and you won't need a man for anything.
So your father,
she got it that way, but you get some women that get it from their mothers too. So you got somebody who got traumatized mothers.
She learned that from her father.
Yeah, that's what she said. So she got it that way, but then it's also the way where you get it from somebody else that was traumatized.
Right.
So when you get a traumatized person teaching another person who don't understand why they're traumatized,
so you have
and then
that
they take it as law.
generational issue happening. We had somebody in the comments basically say a lot of women are this way because they saw their mothers and their grandmothers go through so much issues and problems and challenges with men, and that they in turn were like, you don't need a man so that you don't have to go through what I and your grandmother before went through. And I think that's part of the challenge.
Yes. I think.
Can I ask a question? Do you prefer to be needed or wanted?
I'd rather be wanted.
Do you prefer to be needed or wanted?
Wanted.
Do you prefer to be needed or wanted?
Needed.
So
I need you to need me. Yeah.
So I think
so that you can dangle your
such a rebel.
No, because once go.
Can I finish my fucking statement? I asked the question for a reason. Like, we have to, again, etymology, right? We're talking about words and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if someone says, sure, I don't need you, but I want you, and I'm going to show you that I want you. I'm going to communicate with you like I want you. I'm going to behave in a manner that shows you that I want you. Fuck a need. I don't understand why everybody's caught up on need. No, we do not need somebody to survive. No, I don't need my husband to survive. I was surviving before him, and I can survive after him. Probably better. If something happened to him, I'm gonna be paid. So at the end of the day, it's not about need. I think what's more important is that you want somebody and that you show them through your actions and through your words that you want them. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why we get so caught up on this need shit. Like it's beyond me, because you said you want to be one. Because when you want somebody, you are making a concerted effort. How you act, how you talk to them, how you treat them, how even you think about them. You know, as the days progress. You know, right. Like in your future, your future thoughts. You know, it's because you want them there. Right. It's not because you need them there.
I think it's two levels. I think we need a person on a general scale. Like, you need love to survive, or you really just not gonna be happy. But the person that you choose to get that love from, you want that person. You need love.
Well,
but that's in general.
Isolation is dangerous. It's just as comparable to like really.
You said isolation is?
Social isolation is dangerous.
So you need a person,
also
but the person that you need, you want that person. Mm-hmm. But it still don't stem away from the fact that you need love in order to
but needing love, life. That's a general.
Okay, so let's stop it right there. So topic for tonight, women live in survival mode. Okay, shout out to 8 at the Table. I said that's the group that was in the video. Definitely go check them out on all social media platforms. I said they dropped some good conversations, some good content. So definitely go check them out. 8 at the Table. Okay, so yeah. So anybody down in the comments, drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about that video. Were they spot on? Were they off? Man, let me know what you thought about it. I got a couple things here, but yeah, we're gonna get right on into it. Let's see. Donovan said generational curses, right? Yeah, no, there's definitely some of that playing into it, Donovan. For sure. Definitely some of that playing into it. Let's see. J.U. Griffin said, did she say if something happened to her husband, she would be paid? You getting paid by someone you don't need? Shaking my head. Yeah,
I'm so glad somebody else caught that.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you respond, Claude. I just want to reread what he just said because I wrote that exact thing down. Did she say if something happened to her husband, she would be paid?
Yeah, like she was like, you know, she could get along without her husband probably even better because, you know, she would be paid. And every time I've watched that clip a couple times, every time she gets to that part, I like cringe a little bit because I'm like, I'm sure she didn't necessarily mean it like that. I don't know though. I don't know her to that level. And I would be having to make a lot of assumptions. So I won't do that. But I will say I still cringe every time I hear it because I'm like, yikes. I don't even think I have the ability to say that out of my mouth like that. Anyway, but yeah, I'm glad you saw it because I thought it was just me. That's diabolical.
Yeah, no, it is. And I did see that. Now I wrote that down. I see Jay, you called it first, but I wrote that down.
It's crazy.
That's wild. Yeah, you know what? This the thing that's funny. Listen, I got a couple things I got to touch from that video, but this is the thing that's always funny to me. I hear people talk about the fact that they don't need somebody, but then I also at the same time always hear them talking about how they benefiting off somebody. Yeah, but I don't get it. Yep, I don't get it. I'm like, you sitting here benefiting off somebody in your own sentence. Yeah, if this person passed, you about to get a bag, as y'all like to say today. But then you sitting here talking about what you don't need and all this nonsense. It's like, but you about to come up off this person that you don't need, you know, transitioning on. I guess this the wildest mentality, but yeah, I got a couple points. So yeah, one of the first things that I heard the young lady say is that she was raised that way, or she was taught that by her father, that a man with money is going to control you. That's not good education. Yeah, that sounds like some trauma education right there. Yeah, just because a man, you know what I'm saying, has some money or has more money than you does not mean that he's trying to control you. If I keep hearing instances of stuff like this, yeah, because this man and the interesting part about it is most ladies today say that they don't even want to entertain a man unless he making more than them. But then this young lady's father is telling her this same guy that the ladies say that they want is going to be wanting to control her. And I'm like, at the end of the day, are you really did you really teach your daughter that because you really wanted or really had her best interests at heart? Or did you teach your daughter that because you was trying to be selfish and you was controlling? Because it almost sounds like you just want to, that almost sounds like some control in itself. Yeah, let's say that's not proper education. And what I mean by that is, I said that thing is laced with trauma. If that don't go for all these guys, if that doesn't go for the guy with the correct mindset, that doesn't go for that don't go for the good dude. So I'm like, why would you be telling your daughter something like that? Yeah, so you're supposed to be giving her the foundation as she gets ready to transition through her teenage years to adult years and move from under your covering. And you're already telling her that some guy, just because he got some money, that's he gonna be trying to control you. And it's like, well, who does that apply to? Yep, who does that apply to? So making some type of general statement like that doesn't apply, and I'm pretty sure it don't apply to a lot of dudes. Yeah, that's some crazy work right there. Let me come back to the panel. I ain't gonna take over yet. I got a couple on it. Let me come back to the panel. Chloe, Vince, JR. Y'all want to get anything off y'all chest? Y'all see anything? Come off mute and say what you want to say.
I guess for me, I would be curious what would have a man say that to his daughter. I think that the climate that we have right now, where women are, as she called it, hyper independent, I think that these types of conversations is what starts that and gets that going. That you have young women who are told that, and listen, I got my own version of that conversation from my father. It was more like, if he can't do for you what I can do for you or better, then don't entertain him, right? He needs to be able to do something for you. He needs to be able to do for you, which makes sense. I just think that there's already enough obstacles to start putting in the minds of young women that they need to be hyper independent. And even though I know that's not the way he said it, but that's the way it reads. It's the same thing as telling women, don't worry about a man in your 20s. Go to school, get your education. Don't worry about dating. You got plenty of time for that. Some women right now are in their 30s, heading towards 40, still single because that's the advice somebody gave them. And so they were hyper fixated on their education and their education alone and their whole phase and having fun all during their 20s when they should have been prioritizing both, because you can have both. And instead of that, now they're ready to settle down and the men are like, we have options. And it's the same thing. You're making it actually harder for your daughter by giving her this hyper independent spirit, because now she's going to be like, well, I can't. And how does that breed trust? How does she get to the point where she can trust a man for her provision? How is she able to now do that? Because you just told her, as her dad, the first man she loves and looks up to, that she needs to make sure she has her own thing going on, never have to rely on a man, never rely on a man. Like, that's the conditioning that she received. And then we wonder why, we're dealing with the situation that we're dealing with in 2024. So I don't know. That's just my first thought. I'll let somebody else have the mic.
Okay. See, go ahead, Vince. See, come off.
Well, I know I told this story before of how my mother said something like that to my daughter. And my daughter was making my plate one time, and my mother told her, don't be making no man's plate. And I had to pull my mother to the side and check her on that. Like, look, if anybody's place she should be making is my plate. And I think she came from a place of sincerity because her thing was, I don't want her to be taken advantage of. But I said, no, the thing that we need to teach her is how to pick the right man to do that for. And she kind of understood what I was talking about, but didn't. But I think this hyper independence is the wrong message for women because you're not getting the results that you want. That's my whole thing. It's like you talk about this hyper independence, but then you want a boss. Can't be two bosses. And this whole control thing is really perplexing me because I control my household. And my wife doesn't mind that I control the household because I'm steering in the right direction. And her life has been 50 times better. And my life has been 50 times better since we got married. So the issue is not control. The issue is who you let in control. And they're so hypersensitive that they can't cooperate. See, you also have to be cooperative. And so many women feel that they don't have to be. They can do what they want to do. So I don't know.
No, that's real. That's real right there. JR, Joe, y'all want to say anything? Or y'all good right now?
Yeah. It's like you can't have. They want their cake and eat it too. But I've never once seen a situation where you have two generals on the field at the same time. There can only be one general, and then there's the soldiers. It's the one who gives the orders, who makes those decisions, and the ones who has to follow them. But what these women apparently want is, I want, like Vince said, I want that boss. I want a man who earns more than me, who's taller than me, they'll say these things out their mouths and then backtrack and say, these are not the things I want. I still want to be independent. But in almost every way, you want someone who's better than you in some aspect of your life, stronger than you, taller than you, more intelligent than you, a man who can teach me something, a man who's older than me. It's always a man who is above her in some way. And then when you point it out, they say, okay, so you want this, 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 this. And then they'll come back and say, well, but I still want some control. I want to be a partner in crime. I want to be your co-general. It's like, that doesn't work because now you have two conflicting ideas, two conflicting paths, and there's only one path. A leader, you can't split two people in different ways. So they are working against their own best interests. And like Chloe said, they ultimately, unfortunately, end up single at 35, 40 years old. Or there's another thing I've found out recently. It's like a running thing. They'll turn around 30, 31 years old. They'll find God or Jesus. And now they're in a race to look for that. Vince is laughing. Yeah. They're in a race to look for that man who is like me, 35, 36. And it's like, yeah, you're nice looking, but you're also now a risk in terms of having children. I've seen that happen as early as 32, 33 years old. You become a geriatric risk so now biologically, instinctively, I'm going to look for a woman who's in her 20s, where you once were, and you could have cashed in your chips long ago, but you waited until you went through that quote unquote whole phase or that college phase, that education phase, career phase. And now you want to play catch up. But now the men who you could have got at my age, who are more established, who have money in the career, we want the woman that you was 10 years ago, and we're going to get that. So you shoot yourself in the foot. So they should be teaching these women not to make the same mistakes that they've made. But a lot of them are so angry about the mistakes that they've made. It's kind of like I don't want to dissuade women from making those same mistakes. I want them to feel my pain. So they allow these younger women to go through that, and they repeat these things and tell these young women to go to college and focus on your career, focus on getting the bag, focus on having fun. And then those women grow up to be 30 something. And then they talk to those women who are now in the 50s, like, why didn't you tell me that? They're just kind of like, oh, hey, oh, well. So it's also vindictive from a lot of these women in the way they play the game. And I think Now, I know Chloe has a lot more knowledge about that. She explained that before. I was like, the way she put it, how deceiving and deceptive and sneaky women can be about these things. But this is just what I've noticed. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm looking at that bald headed, I shouldn't say bald headed one, her hair shaved off woman. And she's just not, I don't know, man. It sounds like if there was that situation where uh, um, she's talking about that she would be better off with her husband, she would be better off if he wasn't even alive or something like that. And if something were to happen, she would basically make herself a target because it's like she pretty much has said out her mouth she doesn't even want her husband. She just wants him for his resources and possibly insurance money policy. If so, I don't want to go there, but to me, that's exactly what I heard. If I was him, I would be like, whoa, whoa, I should be checking my drinks now. I have to keep one eye open when I'm sleeping. She slipped, but that's a whole different story. That's all I gotta say.
Go ahead.
And I wanted to say something about this control thing. I hear that a lot. I'm not understanding, what do these ladies mean by control you? Because I've been married for 5 years. It's not a long time, but it's longer than some people. And most things me and my wife agree on. That's why we got married. So I'm not understanding what's this control thing. There's very few things that we don't see eye to eye on that we can't come to a resolution on. Now, some things I might have to make an executive decision, and mainly sometimes it's finance because I'm the better financial person. But that's why she married me also, because she know I'm not gonna spend all the church's money. So I want to know from these ladies, especially in 2024, where I thought y'all was making more than us. I thought y'all was more educated than us. I thought y'all was boss chicks. So what control do we really have? So I'm asking for any ladies in the chat. What are some of these things by these ladies saying he'll control me?
Power?
But
Like,
I
isn't
need
it
an
power?
explanation on that though. What, he gonna tell you what to wear? If that's the case, he probably did that while y'all was dating. Because people act like people are the Tinder swindler or something, where you don't see certain things before you get married. Like if he got a problem with what you wear, he probably got a problem with what you wear while y'all dating. If you got a problem with your friends, he probably got a problem with your friends while y'all dating. So you know who you marrying, and if you don't know, you should ask. I just don't understand this whole control. He gonna control this because most people work. There's not very many people who start off where the woman is a housewife because we all coming with bills and kids and debt. So most people work. So a lot of ladies can say, well, he gonna be controlling the money. How you controlling the money when you working too? So I need an explanation, ladies. I need to know about this control thing because that's what
I think I have a theory.
me.
I think I have a theory, and the only explanation I can come up with thus far is projection. Because a lot of this controlling that they're talking about that he's going to have over me with finances, when they're divorcing and they're looking to break that man and try to take him down and take more than half and all this other stuff and make sure it's like who's the one that's controlled? It's the laws that's actually benefiting the woman majorly, especially when it comes to marriage and divorce and things like that. It's the men who are not in control, but yet they're parroting. It's like gaslighting. They're parroting, "You're going to control me," and it's like almost like their conscience is like, "No, I'm the one that's controlling." And by them saying you're controlling me, they're actually controlling by manipulation. It's emotional manipulation. So you're like, "Wait, what? I thought we was in this together." Yeah, but I don't want you to control me with the finances and telling me what to wear and all this other stuff. But in doing that, you're controlling him. It's strange, but that's the only conclusion I can come up with.
Yeah, I think we still have this, this whole piece of the picking and choosing in there. Yeah, essentially we, are once again saying that we want somebody to kind of steer the ship, but it's like in order to do that, there has to be some level of control. But then we don't want to relinquish the control But then when something goes bad, we want somebody to control the situation. So it's like it's so much picking and choosing going on. And that's why I said I think we just get so lost in the whole sauce of it. We don't even realize what we are really, essentially what we really saying at the end of the day. But I'm gonna go. You want to say something, Chloe? Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. I wanted to add to that too. Like, Shantae said this, and Shantae, like, join the panel. But I agree. I think that I think it's more than just people in relationships. I think that our parents are doing that too. I think that our fathers and our mothers and our grandmothers and our aunts, they are bringing their trauma, they are bringing their insecurities into these conversations where they're calling themselves schooling you. So you have to be careful who you taking advice from. You really need to take a look at the fruit that they bear. You really need to take a look at their lives. And if you look at their lives and you're like, man, they got it together, good relationship, even if one person has maybe passed on, they had a good relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look at them and you go, I wouldn't mind that life. Like that, they look like they had a good life. You know what I mean? But if they could never keep a steady relationship, if they, always struggling with money or got a bunch of debt, be careful who you taking advice from, because some of these people are speaking from their traumatic experiences, and we're carrying around the trauma that isn't even ours. It's not even our trauma. So that dad telling a daughter, is this who you were before? Are you concerned for your daughter that, is this your sense of holding on to your little girl? And because see, sometimes I believe that dad will say things because they're just afraid. They knew who they were. They knew who they were. And their biggest fear is their daughter going out there and maybe possibly getting caught up with somebody who is not the man that they've become, but the man who they were. And we have to be careful not to pass listen, we have experiences, we have pasts, but we can't pass these things on to our kids. If anything, we have to be honest with them and say, I did this, but this is the route you should take. Not I'm terrified that they're going to relive my mistakes, so let me traumatize them by telling them this, and this. And I think that's what's happening to these conversations. Aunts telling women, marry for money and not for love. Like, did you pick somebody because you really love them and they were the wrong person? And now you're telling this woman who doesn't have this traumatic history and don't have these traumatic experiences that she now needs to go pick the wrong person because she should be marrying for money? Like, it's just crazy that this is what's happening. But I think that's what's happening. The comment that she made about grandmothers and mothers, and we watched our mothers go through this and grandmothers go through this. So you basically live in somebody else's trauma. You did not live that. That's not your trauma. That's not your story. You don't even really know why those women were in the situations they were in. You were just a bystander. So it's crazy that we're saying, oh, because I saw my mom have to do this or do that. No idea, no full context why. But because I saw her doing that, I don't want to have to do that. So now I'm going to not trust a man. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of us. We are living out trauma, and a lot of it isn't even ours.
Yeah, no, that's real right there. So let me ask this question. That's one of the points that I jotted down. I said, shout out to everybody watching us tonight. If you haven't already, hit that like button for us. Hit that like button for us. That's a question I want to ask, because I continue to hear that, and I'm like, nobody has given me a definitive answer. So I see we got a lot of folks down in the comments. We got a lot of young ladies in the comments as well. Somebody educate me. Somebody educate me. What was your mama going through? I'm just curious. What was your mama going through, and what was your grandma going through? I keep hearing that. I keep hearing people talking about being traumatized from what their mama and their grandma was going through. Yeah, so somebody drop me a comment and let me know. What was your mama and your grandma going through? Was something happening? Was somebody being held against their will? Like, what was going on with your mama and your grandma? Because it's not the first video that we've leveraged before, and they was talking about all this trauma or all these things that was happening to their mama and their grandma. So I'm just curious, because that's not my reality. Yeah, my grandma, she was just fine. Both of my grandmas was just fine, and my mama was just so I need somebody to educate me. Maybe I'm missing something. What was your mama and your grandma going through that was so bad that's got all of these situations, like have all these young ladies today being so traumatized from their mama and their grandma and what they was experiencing? I'm just curious. Somebody let me know if you don't mind sharing. I saw you about to come off, Vince, and I saw you come off too, JR. Either one of y'all go.
Well, I'm not a lady, but I did grow up with a single mom, and to be honest, what I see my mama do is make bad choices.
Okay.
Including my father. You know, I tell it because, you know, my mother is deceased, so it's not something that she would be embarrassed about. My mother gave 18 of her good years to a married man.
Okay.
And then had the nerve after he died to be complaining about ain't no men out here. And I wanted to tell her so bad. Well, mama, when you was fine in 32, you gave 18 years to a man that you couldn't even go to his funeral. And died of a broken heart. So, and then another thing is, I don't understand that either, because the same thing your mama and grandmother went through, the same thing these baby mamas is going through, but they don't even have the benefit of a husband. Well, my mama was getting beat. I don't think the domestic violence rates have gone down any. Well, he had kids around the block. Well, your baby daddy got 5 kids and ain't taking care of none of them. So I don't know really I don't know what the difference is. It ain't like we're making better decisions. Men too.
That's real.
So I don't understand what the difference is. Oh, I seen my mama struggling. Well, most women out here struggling. They check the check, tax refund the tax refund. They just keep it 100.
Survival mode.
Tax refund the tax refund. That's when they get their cars. That's when they get their, because that's how I went through. When my mama got that tax refund, oh, let's go to our van. Let's get some new furniture. My mama got that tax refund. Okay, let's go from a 2-bedroom apartment to a townhouse. Couldn't save no money. Moving every couple years. Come on now. I ain't the only one out there that had that experience. So I don't see the big difference. Tell you the truth.
Yeah. No, that's real. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the transparency. I'm just trying to understand it. Yeah, I was just trying to understand it, man. I'm like, somebody educate me, let's say, because I keep hearing that. Yep, we continue to talk about all of these horrible things that our mamas and our grandmas was going through, and I'm just like, what is that? Because I'm like, I didn't see that, and I'm like, I have close friends around me, and I saw their grandmas and moms as well, and I'm like, I didn't see that over there either. So I'm just like, somebody educate me on that. Let me get a couple of these comments. I'm gonna come right back to the panel. Let's see, Shantae. Shout out to Tay in the building. She said, let's see, that's just an excuse for people to hold on to the pain they never felt. That's real right there. Appreciate that comment. See, Donovan said, grandmother experienced the Great Depression. Mother experienced civil rights movement. Okay. Straight like that. Straight like that. See, Kenyatta said, my grandma passed away when my mom was 11 years old. So indirectly, she passed down some of her traumas. However, she is aware and we are in a much better space than ever. Okay. All right. Appreciate that comment right there. Appreciate that, Kenyatta. All right, let me come on back to the panel. Let's see. I saw you come off, Joe. I know JR, you had came off. Let me go to JR first, Joe, and then we'll come back. Because I know JR, I know you came off when Vince was going. Do you still want to say something? Or you good, man?
No, I'm just good for now. I'm good for now.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, go ahead, Joe.
So you say you haven't seen it, or I've seen it. I haven't personally lived it, but I was, and I know now why, intentionally kept away from women, female relatives, who live that certain lifestyle of single motherhood, having 4 different baby daddies, 3 or 4 on average. And at first I used to be like, why can't I go over to cousin so-and-so house? And, I want to spend, my father and my mother would stop me from going over there. And now that I'm older, I see the result of this. Not to give to, so one of my cousins, female cousins who had these children out of wedlock by choice, 4 different men. One of her children passed away as a result of him being extremely intoxicated in a hit and run accident. Someone that I grew up with. And while I was before the funeral, I was around the other 3 children that my female cousin had, that she had out of wedlock with 3 other men, and their behavior, the way they were dealing with the circumstances because of no father in their life. So then you ask the question, well, they talk about the grandmothers and the great grandmothers and aunties having these issues. It gives the impression that the issue is that these men abandoned these women and made them single mothers. From my experience and my observation, a lot of them, in some way, shape, or form, push a lot of these men out of their lives. They want to be single mothers. And then they come back years later, 20, 30 years, and they have a different narrative. It's I was made this way. It wasn't I made the choice to be this way. And I don't like the consequences of the results of what I'm seeing in my offspring and my offspring's offspring. And so the blame has to be placed someplace else. So to the unsuspecting eye, someone who hasn't grown up and seen it, if you come and look at that woman's situation, say, oh, poor you, poor thing, you're a single mother, you went through the circumstances, you got impregnated. But then I grew up with these people. I've seen some of these men that they were with, and they would just disappear. Oh, that person just gone. How did that happen? And the narrative is almost always, well, he did this, he did that. It's very rarely anything of her doing. It's always the blame is shifted on the man, the father of those children. So what are the odds of that? That you have 4 different baby fathers with 4 different children, and all 4 of them left because of how evil or despicable they are, and had nothing to do with you at all, be it your behavior, your attitude, your mentality, or simply the man that you pick. Because we all know that there are men like that who will have babies and abandon those. We know that. But after number 2 or 3, 4, so this is of their own doing. It's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And some of these women is fool me 3 times, fool me 4 times, fool me 5 times or more. I know because I've grown up and I've seen it. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand it. I just knew cousin so-and-so was a lot of fun, and no, we can't have you. And I get it. And now that I'm an adult and I go in those spaces around those individuals, smoking, the drinking, it's a different kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a devolution of the mind, of the spirit, of the soul. And I'm just there to support. And I'm like, this is how they cope with grieving from a lost loved one. Everyone is drinking and smoking and becoming belligerent, and everyone is putting themselves in a position where they could end up just like my cousin, drunk out in the street. One was passed out in the car, could have easily been taken advantage of. A young lady, the daughter of my cousin. Oh, I just passed out in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock at midnight. I was like, so you was just gonna end up. Any man could have just knocked on the door. You passed out. And just did what he wanted to do. Got rid of the evidence. So it's this irresponsible thinking because of a lack of a man in the household of the original fathers of those. And sometimes it doesn't work out with the original guy. Fine. They bring in a stepfather. He disappears. Now, I have to think, okay, this is a man who came into a situation knowing there were kids that weren't his. He stepped up, which is the definition of a stepfather, and now he's gone? Why is he gone? Are you going to say he's to blame too? So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of those little things that is hidden. And I just noticed that it's like, this is weird. Like, what is the odds of that? Okay, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6. Like, you're not hitting not even a base hit. let alone a home run. They just keep knocking them, just foul balling them. So that is, it might seem as if I'm putting all of the blame on the women and their circumstances and when they're talking like this, but you notice that you'll rarely hear a woman say that take any, not even an ounce of responsibility. It's, I was a single mom. My grandmother was a single mother. So I inherited that. I inherited her traumas from me. And I've seen men come in and out of my life, but you're a kid. You see only bits and pieces. You don't know if she's cussing him out behind closed doors. She probably is. I've seen that. You don't know if she pulled out a knife on him. You just see a man storming out, oh, my daddy left me. But you don't see the context behind why he left. You don't, it's a lot of things you're not privy to when you're a kid and your world is shaped by, oh, daddy left mom and or this person left grandma, and so therefore I don't want a man to have control over me. And so I didn't have to take control of the situation, but it doesn't work for you. Biologically, mentally, spiritually, it's not your ball, it's not your ballpark to play in. But you play in it and you lose. You keep striking out and you don't understand what's going on. By the time you figure out, it's too late. You barely have kids. And if you can't have kids, you're going to have issues, stillbirths, all kinds of issues. Then a man might not even want you. He might want someone. So it's a lot of issues that come from things that happen way before then. So it's a lack of accountability on the woman's part in the role that she plays in choosing to be these single grandmothers and single great grandmothers of the past and of the current reality.
No, I feel that. No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the transparency as well. No, I just was always curious. I say, because I hear that a lot. Yeah, that comes up a lot. You know, and we start talking about these past generations and how bad it was forming this and that, especially, you know, as it pertains to this relationship space. And I'm just like, you know, somebody educate me on that. Because I'm like, I didn't see that like that. But, you know, to your point, Joe, I definitely feel that there's some traumas wrapped up in there. And that stuff does pass generation to generation if somebody doesn't get in front of it and, you know what I'm saying, and try to break it from continuing to move. I just saw you come off, JR. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when does it go from trauma to just people actually just making choices? Because we know that for definite, with what the dad said to the daughter, she's making an active choice that ain't nothing to do with no trauma about what mom or grandma went through. She's making an active choice, knowingly and willingly, not to cooperate and work with a man. That's an active choice. There's no such thing as a trauma there. And if we're going down to the root of, you know, both boys and men grew up in a single mother household, okay, fine. But why do we see a majority of men saying that they don't want to deal with that situation? Because they understand that that situation is not something that is ideal for themselves or for society, because they see the mom go through it. But somehow, trauma is still going to carry these women to become single mothers. Somehow. So and that's what I don't understand.
So I'll say this, JR. I think that so you make a valid point. So there does hit a point where it is somebody making a choice, right? So I do agree with you on that. But I still at the same time feel like the trauma almost creates the foundation. Yeah, from where the choice is made. Yeah, but I think that's the piece where someone has to experience something to understand that what they're doing or the active choices that they're making are not correct. Yeah, see, the trauma piece is still there. So that's typically what starts it, right? So let's just say, you know, a young person is abused.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then we start seeing them as they grow older making bad decisions as it comes to relationships and partners and things like that. But see, those choices that they're making, a lot of that stemmed from the abuse back when they were younger. But at some point, something has to happen or somebody has to intervene and say, hey, you know, the decisions that you're making are not correct. Then that's when typically when the trauma can be addressed or acknowledged, right? But a lot of folks don't even understand that they have trauma that's behind the bad decisions that they make. Now, to your point, though, once you do understand, or you do go through a process to understand that you are quote unquote traumatized, and then you continue to make those decisions, like Joe was saying, then you continue to make those decisions. Well, then to your point, JR, that's when that's just somebody making active decisions. Yes, like you already know that you got an issue. Yeah, you already know you got an issue, spending money or overspending. So you've identified that. You done blew up the credit cards, you done lost the money, you done foreclosed on your house, all of that. But if you still run into the mall at that point, it's like, nah, we're not about to put that on the trauma at that point. That's on you. Because see, now you make an active choice to go do some stuff that you already know that you got a problem with. So I think that's where it comes in, is that intervention, if you will. If the situation intervenes you, or if a person intervenes you, but once you know what it is, then what you do with it from there, that's when you in the active situation, active decision situation. At least that's my perspective on it. You want to say something, Chloe? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say also, to piggyback on what JR said, just because you do have trauma does not excuse you of the consequences of your choices either.
Correct.
You don't get to use your trauma as a scapegoat. You don't get to use your trauma as an excuse, right? Like, people might be more willing to understand where you're coming from once they realize that you've had these traumatic experiences. They may have more grace for you, but at the same time, you don't get to use your trauma as an excuse and say, well, I'm just having all these issues, or making all these bad choices because of my trauma. So like, that's the reason. And then now I'm supposed to just accept that and be okay with all of the things that you're doing. And it doesn't work that way. Right. But I do think that we do see people wanting to use their trauma as an excuse. We hear this particular excuse a lot. Well, I was young and dumb. And it's like, we get it. We do. We get it. But
now you in jail.
That doesn't right. Like, that's not enough. Like, we understand. We get it. Okay, yeah, young. We always young. We all made choices that maybe we regret, but you still have to live out the consequences of those decisions and those actions and those choices, which is why, you can't just say, oh, I have trauma, or oh, this happened to me. Yeah, okay, we get it. You can easily tell me that it happened to you. So you know that it's something that still affects you, yet you have not done anything to help work through that, right? So then that's when it starts to look more like, okay, I'm just kind of putting myself in the victim position. And that's not to come off insensitive at all. Because these experiences, like when Quay said, abuse, these things scar you. And you have to have help to work through that. So no one's saying or discrediting that that's not a real traumatic experience. The thing is if once you recognize, okay, this has scarred me, okay, where do we go from here? Because we don't want you to go through life bleeding all over everybody. Like, you have to do something about that, right? But yeah, that was my point. And then just something else I want to touch on real quick, like that part where she said the want versus the need. Like, maybe somebody can provide some more, context on that, because we have this conversation about, do we need each other? And I guess for me, I always take it back to the cross, right? If God looked at Adam by himself and said, it is not good for man to be alone, then I guess why do we think that because in 2024, that because we now have cars and houses and all of these trappings and things, that somehow we're still not the same people that were born from those same two people? They have the same strengths and weaknesses. And like, why do we not think that it's still not good for man to be alone? And man, we know in the Bible when it says man, it means man and woman. So it's not good for men to be alone. Why do we think that we've progressed so far that doesn't still apply to us when this is something that God spoke himself? Like, I guess I don't understand, why are we still on this? Okay, maybe you don't need a person financially, but is that now it? Is that the only criteria for needing somebody? Finances?
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
think I said. Yeah, I think every time I hear that, for me, I said it is. It's a lot of ego wrapped up in that. Um, the young lady, she did, driving off of that point that you just made, Chloe. She made the point of, we focus too much around needing somebody or needing, and versus wanting. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta totally disagree with the young lady. I'm like, I think we focus more about around wanting something than actually needing something. Yeah, if you just think about what we do, and that's why I said I gotta actually, let me catch myself.
Stop the cap.
If you look at what we do out here, we talk about, especially in this dating space. I want a man 6'1". Yep, I want a man making 150,000. It's always want. But rarely ever do you hear a lady say, I need a leader. Yep, I need a man with good character. I need a God-fearing man. Everything we say is want. It's always want. And see, that's where we put all our focus around what we want, but then we put hardly any focus or any priority around what we need. Yep, sometimes, with some of these, folks out here, it ain't no sometimes. You always need balance. Yeah, see, if you know what I'm saying, if you over here lacking in this particular area, see, you're going to need somebody to come in there and balance that out. Yeah, but if you're a little weak, you might need somebody to come in that's a little strong. Like you need some balance. But see, we never focus on that. We never think about that. We never even say that. That never even comes out our mouths. It's almost like we feel inadequate if we got to say that we need something or we need some help or we need somebody. And I'm like, do y'all not consider that folks gonna get old one day? Yeah, you're gonna get old one day. You're gonna need somebody. Somebody gonna help you change them underwear. Somebody gonna have to help you up out that bed. Somebody gonna have to help you walk down them stairs. Like, I'm like, we real cocky out here. But I know that's because we young. We got these little bags, this little money we think we getting out here. So we real cocky out here. But I'm like, trust and believe the folks who have made it or lasted the test of time, they're gonna tell you they needed somebody the whole way. Yeah, they've been needing somebody since they was little. Somebody had to teach them how to walk. If somebody was cooking meals for them, somebody had to teach them math. They've been needing people for a long time. But somehow, to your point, Chloe, because somebody got a couple dollars, all of a sudden we don't need nobody and we don't need to be focusing on need. But no, that's actually what we need to get back to. That's what we don't focus on enough, is what we actually need versus what we've been conditioned. And that's the key word. What we've been conditioned to believe that we want. That's the difference. Go ahead, Joe.
Do you think that because people are focused more on the wants that you mentioned, the height, the 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 pack, all that, wants, do you think that, well, wants are transient. Needs is something we need, right? So if I can't want water or food. I need to eat that. So even the language that they use, it seems like it goes against, again, their own best interest. If you say you only want something from me, you only want to be protected. You only want to be protected, or you need to be. You want to be provided for, or you need to be. You want a father for your child, or you need a father for your child. Even the mindset and the words you use, you're placing your need of water and equating it to I need a good father. So when you take that word need and place it to where it belongs, then you will probably end up keeping that man, I'm guessing, that father of your child. Now you're incentivized to keep him because he's now a need instead of a want. I mean, maybe 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 I'm missing some screws, but I think that just the words alone, it's a simple word, want and need. You say, well, what's the difference? It's a massive difference because we know what that difference is when it comes to survival for the food, the shelter, and the water that we drink. But when you say, oh, I just want, the attitude is that, well, I can take it or leave it. And so they leave it or they take it and they leave it and they take it. It comes and it goes, ebbs and flows until they no longer have it and they can no longer get it. So perhaps it's in their best interest to say, I need a man for these things, I need, like you said, a man with good character. I need a man who can be a good father. I need a man who can be a good provider, as opposed to I want that. Oh yeah, well I can do it on my own, but I just want it. It's kind of like you diminish the very nature of what a man is, and so he doesn't feel like if you don't need me, you only want me, then you can just toss me aside, and that is in fact what's been happening because of the language alone that they choose to use.
Yeah,
but maybe that's
yeah,
just
yeah, and it's really in that mindset. It's really in that mindset. So it's not just per se the wording, it's really in that mindset. You know, like I said, we have taken on that mindset of, like I said, of not even prioritizing, you know, what we actually need. So yes, well, I saw you about to come off, Vince. Okay, you good? You good? Okay. Yeah, so you said something, Chloe? I can't hear you.
I'm muted, y'all. I think JR came off.
Okay, go ahead, JR.
Yeah, I was just waiting to just jump in. Yeah, so just going off what Joe just said, you know, that it's working against the women, right? You know, the whole language of whatnot, and of course the mindset, right? And I know obviously every show I do mention or whatever it is, right? And they say like, hey guys, listen, 50-50 is sweet because I ain't ever gonna go broke that quick. But that's because of their mindset, right? But if they say I need you to do X, Y, Z, then guess what? I'm willing to ride it out and do what a man needs to do. But hey, I have a way out to not have to be a man because you only want me because you can discard me whenever you need. So guess what? Why am I gonna put 100% when you don't need me? And that's the part that these lot are missing, you know. And like I keep saying, they want you to be a leader without the ability to lead. Thanks to the dad's message, you know.
Yeah.
So in 2024, is it really the young men's fault that they can't be men or they can't lead? Because like I said, we are fighting a battle that going back to last week's conversation, right, when I mentioned the OGs, like I was saying, it wasn't no dig or anything of the OGs, right? It's more a case of like the reason why sometimes we don't understand each other, yeah, when the OGs are saying like, oh, the young men need to be men. We're saying like, hey, we actually understand what you're asking us to do. But when we then say like, hey, we don't have the ability to lead, that's when it's like, oh, how do we get there and figure that? So we don't get the situation of, oh, how do we figure that out of why you can't lead, right? It's more a case of you not going to figure it out, but we're saying, hey, this is the problem. And week in, week out, we keep highlighting different situations. By no means, that don't mean that men are, you know, causing problems or have their own issues, right? Because men have their own problems and issues. But like I said, we cannot do anything if we don't have the ability to lead the relationship. Now, most men haven't been leaders or are even capable of being leaders. We'll never know. How can we, have the chance to lead if we're not even been able to actually lead? We haven't even been given a chance to even attempt to lead. Yet somehow we're bad leaders, or men don't know how to lead women. But we've never had a chance to do it.
So no, I understand what you're saying. My quick answer to that is find the correct woman. That's my quick answer to that. So let's say at the end of the day, the fellas, I said, I'm not coming at you, Jerry. I know we had this back and forth.
No, of course.
I'm not coming at you, man. But you got to you have to find the correct woman. So, a lot of that, the man at the end of the day, he always has the ability to lead. Yeah, but you have to find the right woman with the correct mindset. Now, I know that that's a lot more challenging out here than it used to be. Yeah, I know there's a lot of nonsense going on out here. A lot of, people focused on these wants versus these needs, but that young lady still exists. Yeah, we are seeing little pop-ups of those young ladies starting to resurface. They've been there, but they just been quiet. But I'm starting to see them be a little more vocal out here. So they out here. You just got to find her, and you getting yourself or having yourself together typically will bring her out at some point, especially if she's being observant. Yeah, she gonna come on the line what you got going on based on how you moving. That's just my opinion, but I'm not gonna come at you like that. I know we've been going back and forth about this one every
No, I got that.
every show. Well, I'm gonna get ready to switch us up. I got a couple I gotta run us through real quick. So there's another one touching in this same space right here.
And you fuck with her.
Oh, why you saying low? I ain't hear you. You clear your throat.
Yeah, no.
No, I ain't hear you. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no.
No,
I'm not. I have to have. I feel like that's one of my.
As a man, I feel like you just should have more than me. Like,
yeah, because dating somebody that doesn't have more, they're gonna try to make you feel less than as a woman. That's how I feel genuinely. I know girls who are more dominant in the relationship as far as financial status, and their boyfriends try to dog them out just to make them feel like they not that bitch. And I never want to be a part of that. But if I'm gonna be in a relationship, I'd rather it be with somebody that that could benefit me rather than somebody that's taken away from what I got going on. Because these men that don't have the financial status that you have, they are gonna try to just make you feel like you're not her. I've seen it. I have plenty of friends that got hella money and they got a regular guy.
All right, so I know that chopped a little bit at the beginning, but basically they were asking her, would she date a man who makes less than her? And then of course y'all heard a response, right? So that video came my way as well, and I said it actually ties to a certain extent into the first video. So in the first video, the young lady is saying that her father told her if the man had more money than her, he was gonna control her or want to control her with the money. Now we got this second video with Jada. So I said, shout out to Jada, and I can't think of that's Wallow, and I forgot the guy's name, but shout out to them on the podcast. But now we got Jada in the second video saying that if the man got less money than her, then he gonna try to downplay her. So I'm like, which one is it? So the dude got more money, he gonna want to control you. The dude got less money, he gonna want to downplay you. So what? I mean, man, somebody make it make sense. Go ahead, Vince. I see you ready. Go ahead, Vince.
That's a schizophrenic mindset. My thing is choose one. You gotta choose one. Choose the guy who don't make as much money as you, that you can run a relationship and you don't respect him. Or choose the guy that you're gonna have to cooperate with and get on his program. You can't have it both ways. Men can't have it both ways. Men can't get a modern woman who's big time executive or whatever, and she come home and cook every day. It's not set up like that. Men don't get everything either. I don't understand what women think of. No, we have to make a choice.
That's a good point.
We can't no one gets it all, especially at the same time. Nobody gets it. Everybody want it all. They want a 6-figure guy who go play the man. He go come home and cook and he out there working. He needs you to go home and cook.
Cook clean.
I mean, I'm just saying though, people want it all, and they wind up with nothing. People want it all and wind up with nothing.
Oh wait, Vince, what about people who say, well, you can meet me in the middle? The people who earn a similar income, 50K a year, maybe the man earns 55K. There's not a big enough discrepancy to where he's earning more or she's earning too less. So now, what would you say about that scenario?
You know what? I think that's possible, but I think it's also possible where she makes a whole lot more than him. But I think they have to get it out the mud together. It's hard for a woman who already got it to, if she done built up herself and she making 150 at 35, to marry a teacher who making 40. It's just hard. Now, if they graduated from Howard together, and it was his passion being a teacher, and he was with her when she was an intern and she was making, and then she rose to that, His value is more. It's about value.
No, I was talking about.
So I mean, not money
income,
value. I mean value as far as how they feel. I think it can work that way. I don't think it can work no other way.
No, I was speaking
I don't
about.
think $150,000 woman can date a $40,000 man. I don't think it will work.
No, I
Because
get that
it's a
point. I was talking
lifestyle
about.
difference. And people ask, well, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Lifestyle matters. Because when she going to, when she going to them trips and everything, and he can't pay for it, he not gonna feel like a man letting his woman take care of him. And she not gonna feel like a woman having to take care of him. But if they got it out to mud together, it's their money.
Vince, I was
It's just
I mean,
I just feel that way.
I was speaking about if both parties are making equal income, 50K a year, maybe the man is making 55K a year, then what would you say about that dynamic? Because it's obviously not going to be on either extreme where the man is not making as much as the woman, or he's making way more than the woman.
Oh,
Because
I
we
think
know
that
what
can
that's.
work. I think that can work. That's like the 50-50 thing. I pay the mortgage and you pay the car notes, and it kind of add up to be the same thing. I think that could work. But if there's a drastic difference, to whereas I got to live in a little bungalow in Detroit and I live in West Bloomfield, I don't think it can work. But if
But
it's
are women
kind of
happier?
similar, I think it can work.
Are women even happier with the 50-50 split? Because it seems like they're still demanding for the. I'm confused
If
because
that's
even
that dude,
Joe. Let me respond to that, man. Let me respond to that. So this 50-50 stuff, man, I think a lot of that's cap. I think a lot of that's cap. But on everybody's side, I think this 50-50 stuff is a lot of cap. So there's plenty of women who go to work along with their man going to work. And I said, I know he'll do some of the heavy lifting on the bills, but she'll be paying supplemental bills, and they both contributing to the bills. Yep, that's what 50-50 looks like. So a lot of these folks out here talking, especially a lot of these young ladies, because that's where I see it coming from. Talking about they ain't doing 50-50, all that. That's cap. Because there's plenty of y'all out here doing 50-50. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you may be doing some more house duties than he doing and whatever else. So like I said, it may not be tit for tat, but y'all both splitting that thing up financially, responsibility wise, all that. Some days he dropping the kids off, some days you may be dropping them off. Like, so everybody who out there talking that nonsense, y'all, man, let me
stop the cap.
Let me do it one more. My bad. Let me do it one more time.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, I see that mess all the time, man. I'm just like, y'all need to cut that mess out, man. Shout out to Remy Williams in the building. She said it's a lot of cap. No doubt. There's definitely a lot of capping going on.
Isn't that the dynamic? Isn't that usually like the majority of people is 50-50? It's not this man who's making 150K and a woman making 150, and it's not usually a big disparity amongst most couples from what I've seen. It's usually somewhere around the 50-50 area.
Yeah, this stuff we hearing now, man. This is some new stuff, man. Yeah, this is some new stuff, man. Mama's been going to work. Daddy's been going to work. They've been married with two, 3, 4 kids. Daddy, you know what I'm saying, might be paying mortgages and insurance or whatever. Mama was hitting the electric bill. She might have been grabbing the groceries. We got to stop this mess. Yeah, all this nonsense that I see out here and somebody talking about they ain't gonna go too far, all this nonsense. It's like, y'all need to stop that cap. Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you find the person that you're looking for and y'all pooling y'all money together and taking y'all trips and living it up and doing what y'all doing, loving each other, ain't nobody would care about all that nonsense. Let me just keep it a buck. Don't nobody care about all that nonsense at that point. You over here doing your thing, y'all moving accordingly, and that's that. So yeah, all this stuff that's out here right now, I'm gonna shoot this to you, Nicole. All this stuff that's going on out here right now, it's a lot of capping going on, man. Yeah, it's a lot of capping going on because folks know that's, you know what's funny about that? That's actually the that's actually the curveball. Somebody sent me some curveball nonsense tonight. That's actually the curveball. So yeah, I'm gonna hold that for 1 sec. Hold on, is that C lay down there? Mr. Research, is that you, man?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? You've been dropping out on me, man. You got your connection bad?
So I'm in San Francisco traffic, man, and all these people trying to use the Wi-Fi at the same time. That's what that is.
Oh, I got you, man. You want to say something, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it quick while my connection's good. So my thing is simply this. I was told by my mother and my sisters that I'm a boy and I'm important. Right there, I didn't get what a lot of the other black boys got. A lot of black boys were told they were third. I wasn't told that.
Whoa.
A lot of black boys were told that mama come first, his baby girl comes second, then I come as the daddy, and then you fourth. So a lot of these dudes didn't really get indoctrinated with the Boaz mentality. Hey, I'm gonna be established. I'm gonna do me, and Ruth, you tell me if Sarah is worth it or not. You tell me if it's gonna be a good match for me, because it might not be.
Right.
We got too many 1990 insecure dudes. I'm gonna say something different than what everybody else was saying. We got too many insecure 1990 dudes. These dudes are 36 now, 38, and respectfully, you got to be in a position where you're like, I've worked on myself enough to know I'm a peaceful husband in the making. I've worked on myself enough. Now, if you haven't worked on yourself, then of course you need a 50-50 situation. And I'm not talking down to nobody, but hey, the black community, we got to realize where we fall short. If you're a dude and you established like Boaz, you got your own field, you got your own workers, you don't really need no help, then at this point, it's an interview process. Lady, if you want to get over here, I'm not going to hit you, I'm not going to cheat on you, but check this out. I got rules over here. That's just what it is. But dudes want to have sex so much, sex so bad, they willing to hear these 1990 women give all these requirements. If you don't want sex so bad, you're not even gonna listen to these 1990 women. You're gonna get you a librarian and call it a rap.
Oh, that's facts.
Like Michael Jackson, he wanted a librarian girl. He got it.
You're gonna get you a square chick and call it a rap. If you're a woman and you really want love, you're gonna get you a boring, non-violent worker and call it a rap. You're gonna live that rocking chair life. But guess what? You want that hot boy life too bad. You willing to get a 40-year-old who still thinks like a 15-year-old. Whoa, did I say that? Let me say it one more time. You willing to get a 30-year-old who still thinks like a 12-year-old and needs your help to fill out an application. That's who you rather have, because the dude over there that got to open up the store at 6 a.m. in the morning, the dude over there that got to manage employees, he ain't got time for you like that, and now you mad.
Oh, that's real.
And now you're upset. So, yeah, when I come up here, man, I throw these uppercuts, man. I don't even waste time. I'll be like, body blow, left, uppercut. So let me hit you with two more, and then I'm gonna share the mic.
All right, go ahead.
Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Ain't we here? Ain't we here? Isn't that where we at? So the late 80s, they told us these crack babies, and I say that respectfully, they're going to turn into people who want to create the gender war. They're going to turn into people who want to make another person obey. Look, at the end of the day, if you a dude, you shouldn't be trying to make a woman obey. You should be like, look, this is how good it is over here with me. You either got to recognize, or I got to holler at girl number 27. I can't be wasting on girl number 12. Yeah, you got a rack. Yeah, you roll with Christ, Islam, or whatever. Yeah, but you know what? Number 39 is looking okay, because she got at least 65% of this that I need. Right. You gotta stop trying to convince these other women to transform. They want to be where they at. And lastly, for the ladies, if y'all were sincere, really sincere, you would do like so many other women. You'd be like, you know what? I'm going to get the dude, and I'm going to get the dude that I know is not violent, that I know doesn't have that cheating spirit, and I'm at least going to start from there. But ladies, most of y'all don't even investigate like that. You looking for the dude with the biggest pipe. You looking for the dude who listens to the type of Christian you like to listen to, not somebody that actually walks God under pressure. Under pressure. Under pressure. You don't want that. You want him to listen to a certain pastor. So I just say, hey, look, we got to look at it from that standpoint. My Wi-Fi's finna go out. I pass the mic, man.
I appreciate you, man. I see you came on to drop them gems, man. Appreciate that. Let me get some of these comments real fast, then I'm gonna slide back. Let's see. Remy Williams, she said behind closed doors, some women still settle for that. Yeah, and all I said, there's definitely a lot happening behind them doors. That is for sure. Appreciate that comment right there, Remy. Remy also says social media got most thinking they can get a six-figure and not a regular. Yeah, that too. That too. Let's see. Kenyatta said, listen, can't nobody live anywhere for free. No, that's facts as well. That's facts as well. All right, let's see. What is it, 9:57? I'm going to take us on to the curve, and then we're going to get on up out of here. I've been trying to keep some time around. So somebody send me this video. Man, oh man, y'all done send me a video, man. I got to see what y'all say about this right here. So let me go and run this curveball real quick.
Why we don't go 50-50 in our relationship?
So we don't go 50-50 in our relationship because I work 70 hours a week and I pay all her bills. She a stay-at-home girlfriend because we don't got no kids. We live separately, so I pay the bills at her house and my house, take care of her like the queen she is. And when you do stuff, what you do? Just let them know what you do to pack my lunch and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes I'll pack him like a little Lunchable to go in his lunchbox, or...
You make the best Lunchables.
I know. You like the pizza ones or you like the sandwich ones?
I like the ones with the crackers in it and the cheese. And
the little sandwich. Yeah, little cracker sandwich.
The little Capri Sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He usually gotta buy him also something else because he act like, I don't know, sometimes he act like he's still hungry after that, which I don't know why you still hungry after I just packed you a lunch.
My check go direct deposit to her account every week. I don't want her to feel like she don't work or anything, so I got my stuff going direct deposit straight to her. If y'all men out there want a pretty woman, y'all gotta do stuff like this. This how you get them.
If you want a good woman in your life, why would you not wanna pay for everything she has, pay her bills, get her toes, nails, stuff done? I just feel like a real man would do that for his woman, especially if he loved her. You love me, right?
I love you. Kiss me. No, kiss me on the lips.
Not right now.
No, kiss me on the lips.
Stop.
Stop.
Oh, hell no.
Somebody sent me this stuff right here. So let me come on to the panel. Everybody down in the comments, drop a comment. What's it?
Oh, okay.
Ain't the sugar baby cheaper?
No.
Ain't the sugar baby cheaper?
Hold on. Let's just take inventory. His check goes to her bank account. They don't live in the same place. She has a separate place.
Oh no.
She packed him a Lunchable with cheese and crackers.
No, she had to ask him. She had to ask him. Remember, she had to ask him because she wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, she was like, "Which one you like?" And then to top it off, when he wanted a kiss, just a kiss. Then to top it off, she wouldn't even kiss this man. This got to be a skit.
That's what I was about to say. It's
this is got.
Or his esteem is messed up.
Are there really men like this in the world? Mm-hmm. Like there are real men that do this?
Well, she said she did say that in the video. She said a real man would want to pay for that. Ain't that what she said? That's what she said.
Did he say if you want a pretty woman? I mean, she not listen. I don't believe in just like being mean about people's looks. She was attractive, but was she that attractive?
No. Especially by not what
To
you
him?
doing. If you're not even cooking. You're not
Did you
even
look-
cooking. What
Sitting
is you?
over here, wait, I'm like, sis, you should have been like, oh yeah, I packed him a
Oh
lunch.
my God!
Let me tell you what
I'm
he
gonna
was
tell
Going
you.
down in the kitchen.
spaghetti and
Have a whole
meatballs.
meal.
He get that garlic bread. That's
I'm
what he
gonna,
gets.
I'm gonna let OG jump into this one. I'm gonna let OG jump into this one. You know the song?
Crazy.
If it feels too good to be used, then keep on using me till you use me up. She cute for him. I mean,
That's what
he
I'm
ain't
about to
no
say. What?
looker.
Yeah, that's what I was
He
about to
look
say.
like
He ain't had
Big.
nobody like
come
her
on.
before, or had a chick
However,
girlfriend before.
I guess he stay coochie down to the socks if he can pay all her bills.
And here.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest it. But it's some men out there. I know some guys paying chicks bills and they just girlfriend. But I think it messed the game up if y'all not gonna get married because she's not gonna get that from nobody else. So if she halfway like him, she need to go and marry him and go and let him take
She
care
got
of
a
the
whole.
children.
She got a whole nother man.
Well, shout out to y'all for sending this over. Yeah, I saw this mess and I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I'm just like, what am I looking at right now? I'm like, of course you gotta wonder, is it just a skit? Is it a legit video? But I'm like, man, you sitting up here on this couch, man, like you almost serious, man. Like you over here talking about your direct deposit and checks over here, you paying bills at 2 different houses. And see, this is the thing. Even in these situations where they may be skits, this stuff is happening. Yeah, somebody is out there right now doing this. If somebody's out here right now living in 2 different houses, because I've even heard this concept of this. What did my man say? A stay-at-home girlfriend. I've heard that. Yep, I've actually seen girlfriends, and they literally, what y'all call it, blog or vlog their life as a stay-at-home girlfriend. And I'm like, who created that? Yeah, what is a stay-at-home girlfriend? I know about stay-at-home wives and stay-at-home mothers, but I'm like, now we doing stay-at-home girlfriends, and I'm like, then once again, we talk so much about these, these men paying all these bills, and everybody is anti 50-50 and all of this nonsense. And truth be told, yeah, with the way that we conditioning folks with this stuff now, somebody gonna be out here thinking they're gonna be out here believing this stuff. Yeah, they're gonna be out here believing that it actually is correct for you to be living in some totally different house from this young lady, who there's no official commitment between the two of y'all, but you over here, allegedly paying her bills and paying her maintenance, and she making you Lunchables and this and that, but won't even give you a legit kiss on camera. But you may think because you got your little, what we call them, Vince, you got your little baddie, then your 70 hours and you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, but that's why I say at the end of the day, we so focused on what we want and so unfocused on what we need. This is why you're going to see this type of nonsense we just watched. Yeah, because at the end of the day, for this fella in the video, I'm just going to put my perspective on out here real quick. For this fella in this video, this is not the type of woman you need, brother. Now, that may be the one that you want because you think you got your little baddie. Yeah, but the fact that she's sliding you Lunchables, talking about she trying to figure out why you still hungry, that's not the one you need, brother.
She with her other man, the other 98 hours in the week. It's 168 hours in a week, and he works 70 of them. So when she's not with him, yeah, she with her other man. Them 70 hours, she with her other man. Let me just say it that way.
No doubt. No doubt.
Right? Yeah. She with her other man. While he's working those 70 hours, she's with her other man who is be at her apartment while she not working all times of day and night, and he's buying them both groceries. Like
Yeah, like Kenyatta was saying.
Yeah, he's paying for both of their lifestyles.
Yeah, and then the other thing was I'll bring you off mute in a second, Mr. Research. You had a little noise coming through. Then the other thing is And that's why I said it's most likely it's a skit, but I think it's a hilarious video. If you paying, let me say this like this, because I'm in a playful mood right now. If you paying some lady's bills and you ask her for a kiss and that's the response you get, simple as that. If that's the response you get, if you paying her bills, direct deposit into her account, whatever my man said, and you ask for a little kiss on camera and that's the response you get right there, the little forehead joint, man.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
That's disrespectful. Somebody go
Let me
check
be quiet. Let me be quiet. I ain't got nothing else to say. Let me be quiet, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. Let me check in with Vince. Vince don't went quiet, man. Vince, you calling it a skit or you saying my man the clown? Which one is it, man?
I think it's a skit, but it really happens when people think they got something that they can't get. He got something. That girl out of his league. Yeah, she average, but she cute to him. I mean, look at him. And I mean, come on, let's just be honest. It is what it is. He got him something. She cute, and that's all he want from her. So, fair exchange ain't robbery. And if he think a forehead kiss is worth him paying her bills, then hey, pay her bills, bro.
Oh man, this wild, man. It's wild. Let me go. I saw you. Was that Joe or JR? I saw y'all come off mute. Go ahead, man. Either one.
He works 70 hours a week and can't even get a whiff of the pants. How does that work? Explain that one to me, please.
Yeah, I ain't never seen it, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Kissing on forehead like he had a boo boo or something. What was that about?
Yeah, like I said, I appreciate the videos that come over, but this one right here.
What's going on? I don't
Yeah, this one right here caught me. Yeah, it caught me for sure. Yeah, no, I'm hoping it's a skit.
It's not an act. Nah, because I'm looking, I'm like, okay, they've been doing a lot of these videos lately where they like specifically embarrassing black men. It's always like humiliating black men. So even if it is a skit, I don't find it funny at all because it's putting out this narrative that, first of all, I don't know any other culture that really does that intentionally goes out of their way to make these so-called skits. And if it's a skit, it's meant to be funny, but it's laughing at the expense of black men being humiliated like that on camera. And like Vince said, this does happen a lot in real life. But to bring that out into the forefront and make it, oh, this is a joke, this is funny, you're laughing. It's not a very nice narrative to paint, even though it does happen in reality. But now you're putting that out there in like the consciousness. It's going out into the airwaves. It affects men's minds. It makes them angry. They see it, they ingest it, and now they internalize it. So it's a very negative thing. It's a skit that's meant to be something maybe not as serious as I'm thinking of it as, but it is serious because imagery plays a big role in how not only us, how we view ourselves, but how other people outside of ourselves, different cultures, different backgrounds, different countries, view us. So now they're making us look like a fool to them. And it's consistently black men that's being portrayed this way. The big black dude, bumbling fool, buffoon, and the guy who can't pay he doesn't want to take you to this 5-star restaurant and he's being made a fool of. And, oh yeah, it's just funny. It's just skit. It's fun. Ha, ha, ha. But if a man makes a joke at a woman's expense, especially a black woman's expense, it's not fun and games anymore. I don't find it very funny. So I'm going to assume that it's real, even though most likely it is a skit. But it's I don't know. It's mean spirited, and I can't see a black man going out of his way to produce something like this and volunteering. It has to be like at the insistence of something else behind the scenes. Hey, we need you to do this. We're going to pay you X amount, and they're being paid to do these things, or they just want the clout. But the psychological damage, what it does to young black boys seeing something like that, they're laughing at it, but they're ingesting it. And so when they grow up, they might internalize something like that and not even realize what they're. So now they're going to start acting like that guy in the skit. But it's supposed to be funny. I don't find it funny. I don't entertain stuff like that. So
yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, Lester. There's some validity to what you're saying, but I think what we have to do is we have to use these particular situations as case studies. Yeah, we have to use them as case studies, and we have to learn and move differently or move accordingly based on the case study, right? Yeah, this situation right here, you know what I'm saying? This situation exists for some people out here. Yeah, but this is not the proper way to move. This is not the proper mindset to have, even for the young fella in the video. This ain't the proper mindset. Yeah, this is the type of stuff that comes up when you commit to a woman and you are now or have made her your wife. This is the type of stuff that comes up, not as your girlfriend. Yeah, so don't let nobody condition you to believe that this is what you're supposed to be doing with a girlfriend. That's not correct. Yeah, so we have to take these situations and we have to essentially talk about what this actually should look like versus what's being portrayed. I said that's the value in these situations that we have to take and leverage so that we can educate somebody else who will see this content on how not to move or how they should be moving based on what that case study was. Go ahead, Mr. Research. Then we're going to get ready to take some clothes in a minute. Go ahead, man.
All right. So, again, got to say a little bit something different for the sake of the audience. So, I kind of don't have a problem with it. Here's why. Let's take it for real. Let's take it that it's not a skit. It's for real. I grew up with a homeboy in the streets, doing dirt, doing wrong. His girlfriend used to always be like, Jermaine, come here. Yeah. What's up? What's up, lad? What did I ask you to do? So years later, like a decade later, me and my friend, he was in a wheelchair, we asked Led, why did you treat Jermaine like that? She said, I couldn't treat him nice. He wouldn't accept it. Let that sink in. I couldn't treat him nice. He wouldn't accept it. It's a lot of dudes out here. It's a lot of dudes out here that like to be subjugated. The 1990 dude he's not the smooth player. He don't know how to walk away from girl number 13. He'd rather sit there and argue with girl number 13. Is this microphone working? I mean, that's a real thing. There's a dude who's trying to convince girl number 12 to please change. He gonna spend 40 minutes trying to get her to change. Instead of just going to girl number 49 and saying, you know what? She got a mole on the bottom of her lip, but everything else is all right. So, this is where I'm gonna stay right here. No, we want to fight. We want to spend 10 years. Please, black woman, change. Please. It ain't working. So let's dig into another thing. The white man is doing the same thing. He's subjugating himself. He putting on pink and all this stuff. The Latin guy, he letting people get with his wife. It's crazy out here for the 1990 people. The 1990 people got a whole nother thing going. They're not the smooth player. They ain't the ones who like, all right, girl, you ain't with me today. All right, but I'm going to see you, though. I'm going to see you. We're not player no more. We're very insecure. Let me give you two more because I've been waiting to get off this bridge so I can give you this. I think the issue, though, when it comes to women, black males give women way too much power in this community. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit a nerve? I apologize, audience. I apologize.
That's real.
You don't want C-Lay on the panel no more? Okay, I get you. So I think ladies are great people. I'm not saying we should treat them badly. I'm saying, what happened to her choosing you? What happened to her? Do you think those people in the Bible all got approached? Huh? All those people in the Bible didn't get approached. All those women in the Bible didn't get approached. Some of them women put themselves in the way. Hey, my name is Sarah. I'm gonna talk to my cousin Ruth. I'm gonna go out to this field that's owned by by the cousin of your husband, and I'm gonna put myself in the way. See what happens. You know. So I think some of y'all dudes, and I'm about to punch you dudes for a minute. Some of y'all have made women your God. Women are more important than your own son, gentlemen. Women, oh my God, did I get a sound effect? Women are more important than your own son. I got a quick joke. I'm sorry, you guys. I know it's long-winded, but you gotta laugh out the irony of this joke. Man walks in the alley with his son. He has son. We're gonna take this shortcut to get home. Woman crawls out the garbage can with slime all on her, and the son loses his grip on his father's hand. His father lets go of his son's hand and start focusing on this woman crawling out the garbage can with slime on her. And he starts to walk toward the woman, and the son says, "Daddy, we need to go home." He says, "Hold on, son. I got to see if this woman need help." You know, turn your back on your son. You know, let go of his hand. You focused on this beautiful, slimy woman that just came out the garbage can. That's what a lot of you dudes be doing. And you know you be doing it. I'm not capping. I'm not trying to play jokes. Some of you dudes know a woman ain't ain't for you, but your private parts just want to see what's up. Your private parts just want to see. I mean, you know, forget the spider senses tingling. You know, I just want to see if this is really gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times dudes got to understand that. Last thing, because he's about to close. Women, here's a great thing to find out if you got a good guy. Talk about empathy on the first date and see how he responds. See if he switches subjects. See if he deflects. Some of you women are really not investigating because your private part says, I hope he just keep his mouth closed long enough so we can get back to the room. Y'all not investigating either. Thank you, and I land.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. No, dropping gems. I say we definitely have an issue on both sides. To your point, because I'm gonna co-sign with you. Yeah, fellas are definitely giving away too much power. Yeah, that's definitely going on. And fellas are definitely not valuing themselves correctly out here as they move in these relationships. And like I said, you know, on the other side as well. Yeah, there's a lack of value or a missing presence of value. And then let's say once again, because we are so heavily focused on what we want. To your point, the investigation is not taking place, the proper vetting is not taking place. We just moving nilly-willy and then wondering why we see the outcome that we see. So now I gotta agree with you on some of the points that you made. But man, we're gonna take some closing. We're gonna get up out of here. Like I said, I wasn't running us too long. So let me hit the top row, bottom row, then we gone. Chloe, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, getting back to the original topic about women being in the main topic about women being in survival mode. This is what we mean when we say women are in survival mode. The constant lunches, the constant brunches, the constant shopping and consumerism. It's giving distracting yourself. It's giving, this is my way. It's a consolation prize. It's consoling yourself because there is something missing. There's something missing. And am I saying that women can't have a purpose without a man? That's certainly not what I'm saying. But a lot of you guys are not thriving. You're surviving. You know, you got your boss chick persona, you got your boss babe, you're making your money, but you are in survival mode. And the bad part about it is because you can do all these things and buy all these things and have the nice cars and have all the stuff, you don't even realize you're living in survival mode because you've convinced yourself that this is the life. This is the life. But this is how we can tell that it's a lie and it's a cap, because as soon as you get a man, we don't hear from you. As soon as you get a man, we don't see you anymore. As soon as you get a man, your money's in your pocket. As soon as you get it, see, all of that stuff stops because that stuff is just to distract you from the truth. It's not what it's cracked up to be. So yeah, you're in survival mode. And we need to be more honest about that. As far as men and the whole leadership topic, first of all, I would just like to say to any of the young brothers, like just one encouraging thing. You are a man. You are a man. You are a man by birthright. So all of this women going around saying, you're not a real man if you don't, you're not a real man. What is a real man? Like we're changing the definition now of a man. You a man. You got male parts. You a man. You above the age of 18. You're a man. Now, I believe that men were giving the natural ability to lead. However, I do understand that that natural ability needs to be nurtured. It needs to be matured. And not every man gets that, right? Not every man is taught, not every man is groomed to be a leader. I get that. But I do believe that men were given the natural ability to lead, which is why they were put at the head of the family, at the head of women, right up under Christ. So I don't believe in all of these women going around saying, men can't lead me, he can't lead me, he can't lead me. So what does your leadership look like? We've seen it. Maybe what we should see now is some humility. I agree with everything that Mr. Research said about not giving your power away as a man. I think that we're spending too much time worried about what a woman won't allow for a man to do when she didn't give you your identity. She can't take it away. She didn't make you a man. She didn't make you a leader. She can't take that away from you. I think that's what we're trying to say when we say stand on business as a man. I'll land there because there's so much more to be said about this topic, but it's discouraging the war again, that we see between men and women. And it's bad because the war has gotten so bad that we don't even care. Like we got people catching strays everywhere. We don't even care anymore. We're just angry. And the bad part about it, I'm going to say this to the men. You guys don't understand that you have been so upset with women for so long for what you feel women did. And I'm not going to say, this point is not arguing whether women are right or wrong. I'm not even arguing that because there's wrong all over the place. What I'm saying is you guys have been so upset about what women have done wrong, how women have been acting out here, their behavior, what they've been doing, that I hate to say it, but you guys are becoming the women you hate. You're becoming the women. You're taking on their same narcissistic attitudes and traits. You're taking on their same, bad behavior. You're not, instead of them being misandrous, and we can clearly see that they're misandrous, now you guys are becoming, misogynists. You're becoming the thing that they said you were when they were saying these things about you when it wasn't true. And so I would just say for men, please be careful that you don't end up in a situation where this whole gender war has been reverse engineered on you. Because that's what I see happening. We've been fighting it so long that now we're just fighting. What are we even fighting about? Have we made any progress? What's the point?
That's real. That's real. Appreciate that right there. Let me check on Vince. Vince, you still there, man? We losing?
Yes, sir. I'll give my time to Nicole.
Okay. Cole, it's on you. I know it's Cole, Coley. It's a couple of them. What's
man, I'm crying. Not the Coley. Oh man. So, my 2 cents regarding the topic, are women in survival mode? Absolutely. it's like Chloe said, the constant consuming, all of that, just trying to overcompensate. And social media got us jacked up. Like the garbage needs to stop. Stop the cap. Like live out your real life. We don't need to see everything on social media. And if you on social media, that means you unhappy about something. Like exercise the privacy, secrecy, like secrecy, not secrecy, secrecy. Yeah, we don't need to see all of that. Like, and if you gotta be on social media, just do it in a positive light, in an encouraging way. We got enough garbage. We got enough garbage. But all this, I can do bad all by myself. This boss life is cap because you tired. You tired. You tired. You wore out tired. All my
That's
life,
real.
I had to fight tired.
That's real. That's real right
So,
there.
like, just quit with the games, man. Like, we getting too old. We getting too old for it. I'm getting too old. That's my 2 cents.
There it is. No, that's real right there. Yeah, and I said, Nicole, I'm glad you said that. We are getting too old for this. Yeah, I say it all the time. Time is not waiting for nobody. Time is gonna keep on going. Yep, and what's gonna happen is a lot of folks who out here on this nonsense, to your point, Nicole, they're gonna get aged out. They're gonna get aged out and they're gonna get timed out. Yeah, but there ain't gonna be no coming back. So yeah, while you have the time or while you still in your youth, get serious with what you're doing out here, focus on the right things and move accordingly. Yeah, that's the only way things gonna get better. It's really, really that simple. Let me reverse real quick, because I know Mr. Research, he spoke before we went to closing. Let me come over to Joe. Joe, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
I guess if women are in survival mode, it's because they choose to be. They want to be. And the reason why I say that is because this is what they wanted. They wanted to have equal everything, equality, feminism. So if they are in survival mode, they can't make the argue that they're being forced to be. It's because they want to be. It's like their own doing, right? I mean, that's what they want. That's their own struggle, and I think a lot of men try to fight those battles for them, or try to help alleviate them, or show them the light, and it's stressing them out. It's causing them to have early deaths, and some of them become like sexless, or they become women haters, or like Chloe said, misogynists. Um, they start shoot. They do a lot of crazy things because they're trying to fix something that women, or these particular women, want for themselves. And they're just frustrated and confused because they can't do nothing about it, because that's their own, they have autonomy and they have every right to choose to survive. I mean, they did say, a segment of these women did say that they would rather be with grizzly bears than with a man in the forest. And to that, I would say grizzle, grizzle.
Hey,
I felt that coming, Joe. I
Grizzle,
felt that
grizzle.
coming, man. I felt that coming, man.
You knew it.
Yeah, no, I felt that coming, man. I felt it. Are you good right there, man? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's okay, cool. Appreciate that closing. Let me come to JR. JR, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I was gonna finish off with once again on a positive note, trying to save the world, Ladies, let's come back together and figure this out, man. We can do this. We can do this. Because the agenda, regarding the whole gender war, whatever it is, like Miss Chloe said, that it's going both left and right, misandry and all the misogynistic or whatever it is, right? So we don't even have to get to that point because they're playing us, and for me, it's a way for them to obviously benefit from me and you. And then if we think about it, if we then have kids, and me and you are able to not get along, our kids are next in line for the system, and the cycle just continues, you know. So I understand that the things that they've put in place, um, we're always complaining about women, 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 and I understand women are not nasty people at all. It's just that, the pseudo power that society has given them makes it seem that way. And of course, the people that you tend to fight is the people closest to you because you can't access the people that you've actually got the real problem with, right? So that's the thing that men need to figure out instead of trying to fight women, if we're going to keep it 100. And women also need to understand that whatever men are feeling is more because we actually care. Because if we work together, we actually, a much stronger unit, and our kids get to thrive a lot better. Now, I'm not saying that it's for all, but we're just going to have a better chance for society to just be in a much better place. And, we just see where it takes us. And yeah, once again, thanks for having me on and chopping up with the panel.
No, I appreciate you always holding us down, man, every Wednesday, man. I appreciate the closing right there. That was spot on. Let me come to Mr. Research, and then we out of here. Mr. Research, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, let's put some gasoline on the floor. So, ladies, survival. Okay, I get it. Sure. The lady that's 25 only got 13 more summers. Only 13. 15 tops.
Whoa. Explain that.
So every summer is a year.
Mm-hmm.
Women get from 20 to 40 to get it right. Mistakes included, babies in tow. When you start hitting this 40 market where cellulite and wrinkles on the face start to come into play,
Ooh.
It is not what you thought it was.
Bruh.
Prove my point. Go to a dating app. Sign up for the dating app like you a man, for you ladies. And look for 38 and up. You'll see the frowns. You'll see you'll see the depression. You might catch 9 of them. You might catch 9 of them willing to give you a gray hair, a gray hair smile. But man, they looking bad in this joint. And I'm not saying that to hate. I need to give you this uppercut of reality. Brothers, I got one for you too on this final, so stay tuned. But you only got if you 30 right now, you only got 11 summers. You're gonna be 41. You got 11 summers. The breast is starting to droop at 36.
Bruh.
The booty requires a second or third BBL touch up. You got to go get somewhere, ladies. Now I'm gonna say something positive because I'm not doing this for comedy. You gotta go get somewhere. That's the key the white woman did. The white woman, matter of fact, the Asian woman understands she's an old maid at 25, 28. She's trying to get somewhere. Why do you think she's willing to be with the old man that's 60? She's trying to get somewhere. But see, the melanated posse, your wrinkles don't show like everybody else. The melanated posse, your cellulite is called thick. So you willing to make more excuses.
Bruh.
As you go into 45 and 50, ladies, you are now getting on the microphone shaming young girls for dating old men. Tell me I'm lying.
That's
Tell
real.
me I'm lying.
That's real.
This is so many diamonds on the floor. Y'all need to pick one of these up. You at 50 are now part of the women who saying these old men are trying to control women. When you start getting 55, now you looking at the young boys like, well, I might as well.
That's true.
You got wait, tell me when I'm lying. I'm not doing this for comedy. I'm trying to help the community. And I'm gonna land by saying this here, because here's the one for you brothers. Y'all made this community this way. Serious business. Y'all was talking about I need a bad chick. I need a boss chick. Nah, little Kim, don't say those positive raps. I want you to rap like a slut. Y'all dudes did that. You dudes sat up here and encouraged the nonsense. You didn't want Moni Love. She ain't showing no skin. You didn't want Queen Latifah. You up here cracking jokes because she's wearing that hat. What you wanted was thoughts and secondhand skin showing. Well, now you got it. So what are you complaining about, fellas? I told you I had one coming for you. What are you complaining about? What you got to do to change this community on a positive note, you gentlemen have to start celebrating the elegant ladies. You gentlemen have to start celebrating that fat girl who got decorum and happens to love black men. Maybe you're not attracted to her, but guess what? You got to celebrate her because she care about black men. You guys are not doing that. And now you're going into other communities trying to make them thoughts. You going into other communities, African brothers getting dominated by the white woman, getting slapped by the white woman, getting told what to do by the white. So gentlemen, serious business. Yeah, we do drag the ladies a little bit, and this title is about the ladies. But you gentlemen, you got to do like the white and the Arabs and everybody else. You got to set a standard. Christian brothers too, set a standard. Islamic brothers too, set a standard. We can't just blame women. We actually have to be the men that we claim to be and create a brand new 2040 culture, because we can't go into 2040 complaining about 2020, 2001, and 1998. Thank you. I land.
Woo!
That's real right there.
That's a lot of truth right there.
Yeah, like I said, Mr. Research, he be dropping them. I'm sure he be creating some enemies in the background, anything else, but he be dropping them.
Sorry for the round of applause.
I
gotta give him that.
That's a lot of truth right there.
No, shout out to Mr. Research. No, the fellas definitely have a role in this situation. So I'm gonna agree with him on that. That's spot on. Fellas definitely have a role in the situation. But I think even to that point, and I'll close with this, Mr. Research, even to that point, that too comes from people putting way more priority around what they want versus what they actually need. Yep, and that mentality and that mindset, I feel like, is at the root of this issue. Yep, there's a reason why, let's say, we need each other. There's a reason why you need people. There's a reason why you need certain people in your life. Yeah, that's how you get to the next level. That's how you reach success. That's how you get balanced. That's how you network. That's how you grow. Yeah, but that doesn't always come from what you want or who you want. It comes from what you need and who you need. And I'm going to leave it simple like that. Man, shout out to my panel. Shout out to Chloe, Coley, IT in the building. Shout out to Vince. Shout out to Mr. Research, JR, Joe. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the comments as well. A lot of comments. Kenyatta, Eva Wright, Remy Williams in the building. My guy Donovan was in the building. J.U. Griffin in the building as well. Shantae was in the building a little earlier. Shout out to her as well. I think that was everybody in the comments. This is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30. We go live on YouTube and Facebook. So definitely like, share, and subscribe. Let's hit that like button if you haven't already. But man, like I said, we're here to have a conversation. We're here to change our trajectory. We're here to alter our mindsets and move us in a better direction. And we're going to continue to do that. Simple as that every Wednesday night. But man, shout out to everybody joining us tonight. And with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're going to catch you guys next Wednesday.